If you're a new agent who has no idea where to start off with content, this is the exact blueprint that I use to help get my agents over 300,000 views in their very first month, and also just help agents scale to, over 3, 4, 5 extra deals per month simply through Instagram content and simple systems and a little bit of free AI. So this is the exact system that all of my clients use, and I'm going to give it to you all for free. So first thing is you need an ideal client. Now, this doesn't mean that it has to be like, oh, I like helping, this specific person in this age. You're like, again, you could be like, oh, I want to help 20-year-olds buy their first home. Super specific, and you'll probably kill it with the 20-year-olds. So how I like to think of an ideal client is it can also be a family group. So let's just say you want to help young families. So obviously this is my bio. And again, everything I'm showing you is exactly what I use to scale to over 12,000 followers in just about less than a year with only 400 posts, just being consistent. Megan is someone that I'm going to bring up to you guys soon in a minute, but this is what we did. She's a realtor in Houston, so we optimized her bio. She wanted to first just overall help upsizing families. Upsizing families is going to be the easiest, best, ideal client forever, because that means you're for one, anyone who's not a family is like, oh, they're nice, they're caring, they work with families. Just because you say you have a quote unquote ideal client in your bio does not mean that's the only person that's going to work with you. Megan's working with investors, single people, even families. But here's the catch, is that she wanted to use she wanted to work with higher end listings, higher end people. So how are we going to use wording and terminology to actually attract the right clients? So we chose upsizing families. So a simple helping statement is great. Helping upsizing families. Here's where we start getting a little more niche on luxury clients, is the terminology we use. Elevate. I could just say helping upsizing families find a home in Houston. Works fine, But elevate is, again, I'm not a big word guy. I freaking failed spelling in third grade. But elevate is a more respected word if you are trying to attract a higher end client. Elevate their lifestyle, which means we're going to help elevate, whether it's the people you hang out with, the houses you're around in Houston. But that's also attractive to families. So it could be solo people, again, the terminology we're using. So this is kind of who we're helping. Next, we're kind of going to go over what someone's going to expect on your page, what to expect. So unlock Texas's finest living. So we talked about city. You can mention kind of your state here. Finest living. That is another word we're using to attract higher end people. Download Houston's buyer guide. I like to call it a location guide, because the guide is perfect for people who are selling, whether they're selling somewhere else and moving to Houston, or if they are selling in Houston, maybe relocating to a different suburb, which is kind of what we focus on in the guide. So even sometimes my clients think it's it's a buyer's guide. It's good for everyone. So that's something even that Megan can also change. But that's how we did our ideal client. She wanted to help families because it's a super broad area, because usually when you're helping upsizing families means that, how should I say it? They're wanting a bigger home. Maybe it's going to be their second home. Maybe they've already bought their first one, or they are buying their first one. It counts for both of those people. If they're upsizing, means you're going to be dealing with usually a higher end or a higher end or more expensive home. So that's why we use upsizing families, because it's really good, friendly, kind. A lot of people respect it, and so they'll still reach out to her because they see how nice she is working with families. But that's just super easy, ideal client in the beginning. But you also, again, want to figure out your locations. I usually like to say for a bio, I'm sure you see this line up here all the time. This bold line up here is searchable. That is why we add terms like realtor and what I like to say is large city and smaller area. So you can get your clicks and your searchability terms from people looking at Houston realtor, but also inner loop, which means anyone in that area is going to be oh, Megan, boom, right there. But you say area because like, okay, like those are not the only two areas that I'm going to work in. Like there's suburbs, there are different cities, all that stuff. So adding a little area means like, okay, they, know the area. But large city and niche area or city, area, realtor. That's kind of it with the ideal client. Then it's your profile. So that's kind of what we dove into next, which is what your profile is actually going to look like. Next are your pinned posts. So I'm going to show you some examples. You're actually going to want 3 pinned posts. This is who you are, what you do, and how you help others. So your who you are post can be super simple. It can be a carousel of just like 6, 7, 8 photos. Here's a version from one of our members, Omar, to where it's literally just a photo carousel of 7, 8 photos. And then literally just being open and honest in the caption, kind of having it separated. Just being open and honest, like about you, your family. You can add a little call to action on the bottom. But that's who you are. It just helps people really understand you, your background, your family. If you have a family, if you're solo, if you're single, gives people context of who you are. Now the second one is what you do. So I have a certain style of post where Omar actually has one. And if you even look on my Instagram, I like to call them like POV reels. So this is my version right here where it's like 2 people talking back and forth. This is honestly the best way to get real value across without acting or seeming silly. And I have someone that's able to edit them for me, but they're super easy to edit inside of the Instagram app or Instagram edits itself. So you could be like, oh, wait, it could start off with, oh, name. I didn't know you were a realtor. Then it switches back to you. Yeah, actually, I've been a realtor now in Scottsdale, Arizona. The other guy's like, do you like only work with like high-end like listings? He's like, obviously high-end listings are cool, but honestly, I help all sorts of people. I love working with families, but I've also worked with single people or empty nesters, either find a smaller home or elevate their style with a bigger home. Other POV. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. I think I'm actually going to be looking in the next 3-6 months or so. That's awesome. Now you're back yourself. That's crazy because I actually have a step-by-step game plan, what I like to call a location guide, that could actually help you kind of figure out maybe where you would want to, move to. Sweet, what do I have to do? All you have to do is comment guide down below. And that's like a what you do. It's basically a post saying what you do. And you can mention that you help an ideal client, but that you also help these other people. You can say that even if you're a new agent. And then the next one is how. There's who, what, and then how, which is how you help others. This is basically going to be a testimonial. And I have another client who just started hers, and I'm going to show you. All right, so Tiara right here, I actually kind of helped her and kind of threw this edit together with her with the captions and all that. I love helping out where I can because my background's in editing. I was trained by Logan Paul's old editor, people now who work with Mr. Beast. Again, that's why I learned my storytelling, my YouTube background. I started creating content over a decade ago. Was a full-time YouTuber, worked with some of the top YouTubers in all of the United States. And now, again, I'm focusing on Instagram content and actually scaling real estate agents with that organic content. So this is Tiara. And so I learned a lot of storytelling things when I made this video and gave this idea to her, where she actually just said that they got a $100,000 offer accepted in Texas. And it's not a junky property. It's literally they kind of, I forget the word of it in real estate, where you kind of give a story about like why you might want this home. And I believe they did that for this person. And they, let's skip to it. How you help others. This is basically going to be a video of you with a client. Could be an interview. Could be if you don't have video of your clients, like saying like a verbal testimonial, you can hop on a Zoom call after the transaction, get it that way. Or you can do something like this, which is how you help others, which is recording your call with them saying their offer got accepted. I don't know if the audio is going to come through, but I'm going to test it out.
We did get a counter offer as we suspected. They want to do 118, but they agree to everything else in our offer. So they'll give the 7,100 seller concessions. They'll do the 1 year of home warranty. They will pay for the survey title and everything else.
How do we come up with the 18?
Well, I asked Julian, and as long as we got the 7,100 seller concession, Brenda can qualify for the 118. He said yes.
Really?
Yes, so you could accept this offer as is, and you would have a house. But yeah, congratulations.
Yeah,
She's got a house.
You're awesome.
Now,
I'm gonna hire one of the airplanes that puts the smoke in the sky.
with the little trailer flying behind it.
Yeah, or smoke with the same tiara rocks.
Yeah.
So it's like, again, a testimonial video, and this is one version of hers, and she actually made a whole nother one now. But again, we have a nice text hook at the top, live Texas Realtor call, 100K offer accepted. And again, she was actually hoping, I think at the very end, she actually plugged in a photo of the home. We didn't put it in the video. It would have been cool to. But it wasn't like a junky property. It was literally just like they just had a low offer. That's what they could do. And yeah, basically that verbal like excitement of the client, how you help others. If you don't have like a verbal thing, make a carousel like we did in the Who post, screenshot, like even if you haven't even sold one and you've helped educate someone, they're like, hey bro, they like texted you or left a review, have like a carousel of as many as you can, probably up to like 5 to 8 of reviews, text messages, DMs saying you helped them or they said thank you so much, that was so valuable. Anything like that could count as a how you help others. Now we have the 60-30-10 rule. So now we have everything like optimized, like in our bio, like it's set up, like we have all the posts we need to like brand ourselves. Whenever someone views our like profile, they know what to do and they know who we are and how we can help them. Now it's the content. So this is the 60-30-10 rule. Now, this is my own content rule. Now, not every client or every agent's going to have the same one. Again, if you are in Texas and you love home tours and you want your entire page to be like a sales book of homes, then that's great. But a lot of agents now want to mix it up. So that's when we have the 60-30-10 rule, where I prefer about 60% location content. That doesn't mean you have to do like location spotlights, interview people. There's so many ways to make location content that could take 5-10 minutes, or you put in the effort and it could take 30-40 minutes. Then that next 30% is homes. So you do genuinely, assuming it's a home tour, want to show homes in the actual real estate that you guys have in your area. Then to finish up that last is 10, which is connection content, which is personal posts. Again, yes, it's like optimal 60-30-10 might sound like one post per week, which wouldn't be bad. I'm honestly very bad at, I'm good with Instagram stories with like personal connection stuff. So that's like good with me. But I know it's sometimes hard to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to post this whole like personal carousel. Like that's all it could be is like one, two posts a month with even just one photo, or it could be like a carousel, like your who you are post. Just giving an update once a month, something like that, and showing that you're a real person, you know? Again, just could be a video of something you and your family are doing, could be a photo carousel. Photo carousel is usually the easiest. And that's like that 10% connection content. And that's posting. I slack on this a lot personally myself, and I kind of make up for it with Instagram stories. But I should honestly do more posting. Now we know that like how much content we might want to make. Now is the biggest thing, which is what content should I use? Now, here's a big thing, whereas don't reinvent the wheel. A term that I learned from Hayden Hillier-Smith when I was mentored by him, which again is from like my background of YouTube editing, is steal like an artist. And that's a very common phrase where like we don't necessarily rip things word for word or shot for shot, or we don't literally download someone's video and then upload it. But in the beginning, look at what successful posts have done and replicate it. All you have to do. And so I did this with a client the other day, and I'm going to show you some of the posts that I sent him. Cool. So I'll probably have to blur some stuff out, but this is what we did. Again, I can't do this on the computer. You kind of have to do this on your phone. But all you have to do is go to, your Instagram search bar on your phone, and then just search your city or a large city near you, and then do that, or search like that city and then real estate, that city, homes. And on mobile, it's really going to show you the reels that are performing best. So I have a client right now that is, and I'll be honest, like struggling with finding out what works for him in his area. So I did, and I sent him a bunch of posts of people in his area that have made successful posts within the past 6 months. And so here's one. He's in Huntsville, Alabama area. So here's one I found from January from this agent here. And again, they're usually going to be from agents. So there's only a few things you have to look at when it says steal like an artist. So here's how I would replicate this. First is getting your footage. So if I see this reel, I'm going to say, all right, it's like mountain view. Again, if I was in Huntsville, Alabama, mountain view, phone out the window, and then kind of panning to the mountains. Sweet. Okay, I'm going to get that exact same shot, or relatively close. Now, I'm going to look at the song. Usually it's up here, but just click the audio they used, save it, and use the exact same song during like the exact same point in the song. Then I'm going to steal the text, and I'm probably going to use the exact same font. At some point, you do want to be more creative and start kind of having your own font, your own branding. But in the beginning, don't push it. If it's proven already and you can replicate it to the best ability you can, do so. So I'm going to put POV, then put that there. I forget what this font is called. I usually remember. You move to Huntsville, Alabama, and this is your drive to Target now. Now it's great because, let's be honest, there's a whole new run of like aesthetic content, even higher than it's been in the past, because when you really think about it, most men aren't on Instagram looking at agents or looking for home tours and things like that. It's usually the wife, at least 70-80% of the time. So that's why there's a whole new wave of aesthetic home tours, aesthetic content. Talking about Target, this probably isn't going to be like the most appealing post to a dude, let's be honest, So, but I'm going to use that exact same thing, exact same position in the blue sky right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this right here, and I'm going to screenshot this. And I'm going to say, look at the white rectangle on the right side of the screen, which is the Instagram caption. I want to steal like an artist and recreate that caption, keeping lots of local keywords and SEO to help Huntsville people find the video. And I just want you to reword it for me, in agent in the same area. Because again, it worked for a reason. I'm going to tell it to always keep like keywords, SEO terms, because that's how Instagram actually helps you serve it to a local person. And there was a lot of text on that screen. I didn't just like crop it to the caption, which is why I just gave it some context. Be like, look on the right side of the screen, the white box rectangle, that's the caption. So it might go a little bit back and forth, but let's see what it gives me in the very beginning. I honestly love GPT-4. GPT-5 has been a little bit of a butthole, but it's all right. So I'm going to look at this and then look back at the caption and see how close. I'm not going to replicate it, but how close it got. When I look back, I'm going to look at how it kind of ended it and how it started. So it started with Imagine It's 2025. This one says right here, Imagine It's 2025. Cool. So there's some fill in the blanks right here. Similar hashtags. So yeah, I'm down. I'm literally down to just rip this. It's right here says local tags keywords. I'm going to look at that because I don't think the originals. gave not a bunch of keywords. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna remind it because we're talking about Target. It did catch that, so Target's good. I'm gonna just say take out the local tags and keywords line and add those words naturally into the caption. And I'm fine keeping hashtags. Hashtags don't really affect post performance. It literally just is like a dumb way of adding more keywords in a way. So there we go. If I want to, I could say add a few more emojis, but she didn't have too many emojis. If I wanted to, I could. And yeah, all you need is a moving to Huntsville guide. In the caption below, I actually have basically that same thing. It's I think for about $27, which is dirt cheap for what I'm providing you. It's worth at least $500. Is a complete template on a location guide from Canva. Everything's there. I show you how to set it up so you can actually get people's information in exchange for your guide, but also, to how to customize the guide, everything like that, everything. So if you want kind of a call to action like that, the best one that the top real estate agents are using, then you can get that. So I'm going to literally, again, recreate the video and just copy and paste. You don't need to do the whole, remove GPT trademark, things like that. It's fine. You can copy and paste. Doesn't hurt it. And that's it. If you steal the same similar caption, keeping keywords, the same song, a similar shot, and the same text, then that's how you steal like an artist. Done. So you're going to do that for your home tours, everything like that. So now you're going to, in general, post 1 to 2 times a day. Now, seems like a lot, but if you can batch record content, simple 5-second videos like this, or even home tours, and I'll show you actually how to recreate home tours stealing like an artist right now. I was actually having a conversation with my guy, Ron. He sent me this video. He said, I like this content. How can I copy it? Now, everything all my guys do is just straight from their phone. If you have a camera, that's cool. But this is that new style of aesthetic content. And dudes are now recreating it. It's been a lot of females in the past. POV, your dream home in Orange County. So again, simple POV prompt, kind of a aesthetic term, aesthetic font. And it's a dude, he has his Corvette, so I think he's trying to like help dudes like comment on posts now, but still having that aesthetic style that women also want to comment for. Some shots. The thing is for this, again, it's going to be smooth shots, no more than 1 to 3 seconds long. If you have warm wood tones, that helps. You could add maybe a little bit of like artificial warmth when you're editing this in Instagram or just to the video in your Photos app. And these tours are usually no longer than 20-25 seconds. Smooth shots, aesthetic shots. You're going to pretty much want the subject of your frame near the middle every time so that people's eyes aren't wandering everywhere. You'll see usually the subject is within this square, like pretty much the whole time. Right there, right here, right here, right here, right here, 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 here. See, it's not up here, it's not down here, it's not here, it's not to the left. Relatively in the middle box. So, it helps people's eyes not move so much. And then they're going to scroll if their eyes are working too hard subconsciously. And then I told them I actually had a lady in my similar area do a very good style, similarly like this, but earlier this year. Her name's Lydia Sunhomes. And something very similar. She has her aesthetic font up here. If you're looking for a home with serenity and style in Oakland, this is it. Warm wood tones. You see that? Smooth shots, aesthetic shots, smooth framing. Then this video took her maybe 10, not even 5 minutes to shoot, maybe 10, 15 minutes to create, over 1,000 views. I think it did probably 40, 50,000 views in all. So 1,800 likes. did amazing. And then you have kind of a call to action in the caption. And so that's all you have to do is, again, do the similar fonts, look at everything. You could create a same caption. And that's a style that even one of my guy, Aris, is trying to recreate. We just talked about it on a one-on-one call, how he could actually do it. But he tried replicating it. This is just his first time ever. It didn't blow up, but it did about 5,000 views. And he actually got people to comment to find out more about how they could actually qualify for this home. So good leads. So again, we talked about things he could improve, things that could change. But look, he did a very similar style. Different font, so that's one thing that we are going to fix. But warm tones, wood tones, smooth shots. He had a good song, kind of an aesthetic piano song. And again, literally just tiny fixes is all this needs. And consistency. Like, these smaller videos are really easy to recreate and do extremely well. But home tours are something that even if you steal like an artist 100%, sometimes it's literally just the home itself that makes the video perform well. Sometimes that's just what it is. You know, the text you use, the hook you use. Sometimes, again, just the home. So it might take you 3, 5, 10 home tours to finally get one that does over 10,000 views, which I would say is a very successful post. Anything under 10,000 views is a very good, decent post that you could learn from. But over 10,000 views means you did something right there. Or you just had, again, a good home tour. Now, again, what I did in the very beginning to grow my page was to post 1 to 2 times a day. This is needed, especially in the very beginning. Now, you can learn what your audience deems as quality and maybe start posting once every other day or 2-3 times a week if it is a very good quality piece of content. Not physical quality, but a quality piece of content that you know your audience wants to watch. Not just because of physical quality, but because of the subject and how you storytell, you know, how you perform on camera. It's a weird sentence for me to say. Perform, but it's all right. It's all right. That's really what it comes down to, man. If you can post 1 to 2 times a day, whether it's those simple videos that take 10 minutes to make or a home tour, and you can do that every day for 30 to 60 days, you will grow, because every single video you are going to want to improve. So you are literally going to improve by 1% every single video, which is why if you do that for about 60 videos, so 1 to 2 posts a day for 30 to 60 days, you will grow. There's literally no way you don't succeed. Even if you're at 2 posts a day for 60 days, I can guarantee you'll have a video with over 10,000 views, and you'll be able to look back and see how you can recreate that and become one of the most well-known, thought-of people in your local area. Because the last thing to do is iterate, which means literally just looking back at the things that did well and seeing how you can recreate it, and then you repeat. That's literally what everything comes down to. This is the entire sauce of what all my clients do to help scale to at least an extra 2-3 deals per month on top of whatever they're doing. I truly believe that no matter what you're doing, again, I don't think content should be every single little thing, but if you have content and open houses, I think those are the 2 killers that if you have both of those, you will be the most successful agent in your area. Again, everything works, but open houses, people can connect with you personally, which means if you do end up doing decently well on Instagram, people are going to want to literally connect with you in real life. And once they have that connection, you are always going to be the agent they think of, whether it's for a referral or for, you know, themselves. So if you have both of those, open houses, maybe not every weekend, but show yourself, you know, maybe 1 a week, 1 every other week. You know, get that in-person connection. I don't want you to be anti-social, just being in your little corner filming content all day. But both of those is how you genuinely will succeed, because you need that in-person connection. Unless you already are skilled enough, you have that, and you're like, hey, I'm going to go all in on content, and at some point, maybe I'll do some tours or some open houses. But I know a guy in Pennsylvania who's doing insane right now with open houses and a content collab. And he's, again, averaging pretty much like, I think, one new client every 4, 6 open houses, like a deal. And so if you have that with content, then it's going to be insane. So that's how we do it exactly. So, you know, even though open houses are great, if you're spamming open houses, it's not the way to go. But again, anything works as long as it is something you want to do. If you want to spam open houses every weekend, like 3 to 4 of them a week with broker tours and open houses, then shoot yourself in the foot, man. Go for it. But if you don't want to cold call, if you want to, stop selling for your builder and you want to actually scale your own real estate business, then I advise to continue following the content. You can follow me on Instagram. That's where you could personally chat with me and see like how you could actually do this. And, follow the strategies, kind of, learn from someone who's been there. But I want you to continue watching the content, if nothing. Here, YouTube, Instagram, I do a lot of cool short form content about how to film different things. So if you're always like, I don't know what to film or how to film, follow me on Instagram. This is where you get that secret strategy sauce with long form content, but you better kill it. So I'll see you guys in the next episode, and subscribe, because only about 5% of people are subscribed. So if you want to help me, just subscribe.